John's busy direct drilling Horatio winter wheat into this field, but a part of the field was done by the Sumo DD3 yesterday and this morning, so we're going to have a bit of a comparison here to look at throughout the year, which should be fairly interesting. Now, if we just take a look at it now, the surface, so this is the area that was direct drilled. He's just finished this little bit off this morning, and then we're straight into what he's just done. Obviously there's a colour difference because he's just done it and he's just turned up the fresh soil, but you can see the difference in the surface appearance after the two drills. Sumo, disc, Horsch, Tine. Now, the only concern that we've voiced with the disc drill is its ability to cut through the trash. It seems to be doing a reasonable job, but I think what we really need to do is to have, because we've got them so close by now, and we can have a comparison. So here we have an area with a lot of trash on it. I don't think there's any denying that. There's quite a lot of trash there. So if we're very careful, let's just pick the trash away. There's a bit of seed there, but that's bounced out. And let's see if it's doing what they call hairpinning, i.e. pushing the trash into the base and the bottom of the drilling trench as opposed to cutting through it. Now, that is the problem that occurs. So you have seed there which is not in contact with the soil. It is sitting on a bed of trash. In theory, it should be all the way down there onto the soil. So that is what we consider could be a problem. We can't tell just yet. This is still to be ruled, and we will be following this through. So let's take a look across to the Horsch Tine area and find a bit that's had a lot of trash on it. There we go. There's a piece here. Now the Tine drill obviously moves the trash a bit off to one side, so we have an area here where there's obviously been a lot of trash. Let's have a little bit of a dig down. It's moving the trash to one side as opposed to pushing it down into the base of the trench. Let's dig the seed out. There we go. I've just dug one out there, but I'm a little bit more gentle. We should find some lying in the bottom of the trench. We're down to the bottom of the trench there. Now there's one there. Right, so there's one there, bottom of the trench, and there's another one, bottom of the trench. So that's actually sitting in soil and not sitting in trash. So that'll be an interesting one to follow through. It's basically the only concern that we have, and we'll see what this is like when it's rolled. Now, what we'll do now, there is another field across the way that was planted yesterday with the DD3, and that has been rolled. So we'll go across there and we'll have a look at some of the high trash areas and see if the roll has actually done anything with pushing the seed closer down towards the soil, and see how it's consolidated the whole field. Well, there he is. There's John bashing away with his Horsch Tine drill, and we'll hope to get this block finished today and then into the gator wheat harvest probably tomorrow. But anyway, let's have a wander across and have a look at the rolled field. We've arrived in the field that was planted yesterday with the Sumo DD3 and rolled last night. I was looking around for a nice representative trashy area, and I think Yeah, I think this will probably do. Yeah, this will do nicely. So, if we take this as an accepted trashy area, we can see on this row here where the trash has been pushed into the drill channel, and there's a seed there, but that's more likely a one that's kind of bounced out a little bit. There we have some there which is sitting, and that's touching soil as well. It's difficult to tell whether me ferreting about with this rake is actually dropping the seeds down or what. But there they're sitting on the sides of the wall. So maybe with a roller coming on, maybe having that sort of crushing action has brought some of the soil in, and may have improved the whole situation. There's a seed there. It's not sitting. There we go. See that little fella down there. It's not sitting on the solid base of the drill trench. It's not far away, mind, but it'll be interesting to see if we get a bit of rain and if that whole thing just washes down through. And we will be following this to see how these areas compare in germination when drilled with the Sumo DD3 or the Simba Horsch Tine drill. I think it'll be quite an interesting one to follow through. But where it's clean and tidy, and we don't have the big quantities of trash, let's just have a quick look. This has been drilled. It's been rolled. We're probably on a tram line. It's always you want to try and pick. I think I picked a tramline one there. God, isn't it the way, man? Come on, right, come on, let's try another one. Where are we at? Let's try. It's a little bit more difficult to see the drill rows when it's been rolled. Here's the one here. Right, let's have a look here. What have we got? There we go, there's the seed there. There we have it. Yeah. Yeah, there's the seed there in the row, quite nicely spaced. I think I'm kicking it all over the place. I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't really see too well. But yeah, there we go, nice depth, and that should come away quite nicely. In reality, you could do with a bit of rain, but the wheat that's ready to harvest doesn't need it. So if we could just arrange a little bit of rain on these fields and nothing on the wheat, that would be absolutely smashing. Now, wouldn't that be a great party trick? Okay, so as I say, we'll follow this through. We'll be back in here at germination and emergence, and we're going to follow it right the way through the establishment period. Both drills are putting down the same number of seeds per metre squared, so we'll be able to do decent comparisons on plant counts, germination, etc. The only little concern that I have, which John tells me is not a concern, is wider spaced rows and seed density within the row. When you get up to 400 seeds plus and you're on 10-inch spacing, the spacing between the seeds can come down to 10 millimeters if you were planting them dead evenly. In reality, when you're planting, what you're going to have is a lot of seeds on top of each other and some big gaps. Whereas with other drills that are 7 and 5, you've got 2 and a bit centimeters between the seeds, and you don't get this high seed density within the row on narrower spacing drills. The counter argument being that right up to 14 inches it doesn't really make a difference on yield. Can't argue with that, but I would rather have the seeds spaced a little bit further apart within the row. So again, we're going to see that because the row spacings on the Sumo DD3 are closer than on the Horsch. You can probably see here that the rows are paired. So what we've got is, we've got a row there, we've got a row there, and what's that? It looks about 6 inches apart. Should have brought a ruler with me. And then you've got another row there, which is probably 8, I don't know. So you've got 2 bands, 2 rows there, and then a gap, and then another 2 rows, and then a gap, and then another 2 rows. So the plant spacing should be better, and to me it gives a chance, it gives the plant a far better start in life, to have a little bit more space around it, so it's not competing so much for nutrients and, well, space in general. But there we go. Just beyond this field that's been planted, there is a block of Santiago winter wheat, which is probably due to be harvested after the gator, so sometime next week. Bit of rain forecast next week, we'll just have to wait and see. That is the winter wheat that we have, well, reasonably high hopes for. It just looks really well. So we'll wait and see anyway. But that's the start of this comparison. You will be hearing more about it as the autumn continues. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.